Hi, I'm Kathy Rhodes with Unity Consulting, where we grow people and develop leaders. Earlier this week, I participated in a virtual conference. Talk about growing me and developing me as a leader. I was able to learn from some deep thinkers, and I am so thankful. John Maxwell is one of them. And if you were online following any of my social media, I was sharing some of his sessions that were public. There were thousands of attendees, and thankfully, it's all on his John C. Maxwell Facebook page. So it's still available for everybody to really participate in and take away the value, right? I have so many great notes. And what I love the best is these concepts, these notes I'm taking, they get me thinking. So through all of this, really, I think it was on Sunday, the first major topic that he was talking about was the crisis that we're in. We're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. It's March of 2020, and I hope someday we can rewatch these videos and have good memories, but know that we're on the mend, right? As of right now, though, we're in the middle of it. But during the video on Sunday, John was talking about how a crisis is a distraction. It's distracting us from our purpose or our goals or our plan of action. And it's interesting because people who are working right now during the crisis, they're working crazy hours. Our grocery store workers, our certain department stores, our medical people. My son, I talked to him this morning, and he went to sleep last night at 6:30 because he got done with work. He works at a clinic, got done, and he was exhausted. It was a crazy day for him. You have the extremes. You have the workers who are needed to work crazy amount of hours, and then you have not work happening. Suddenly work has stopped or paused or taken a different avenue, or now we're working from home. I mean, talk about a distraction. Setting up your office at home. Think about your IT guys that are crazy trying to support everybody and their setup, not really knowing what kind of setup you really have in your house, but yet trying to help you be productive very quickly. This crisis is a huge distractor. And with the distractor, you're not even on schedule with the plans that you wanted to accomplish this week. This crisis has taken all priority, all focus. When you have such a distraction, three things usually start happening. You got negative thinking, you got mind wandering, and you have uncertain anxiety. And I had to look at my notes because I'm like, I can never remember the words that he chose in this. Uncertain anxiety. What that means to me is fear. And really, that's the one that hits me. The negative thinking, the mind wandering, it doesn't really happen. But that uncertain anxiety, the fear, is setting in a little bit. And I have this fear that is showing itself in really weird ways. One way is hoarding, and I'm not a hoarder. I like to purge. I like to get rid of things. But when I go to the grocery store to pick up like the milk and eggs that I need to do again today, I find myself getting into that hoarding mindset of, oh, look, one package of toilet paper left. I better get it. I have 5 packages at home. I don't need it. I don't need it right now. I'm fine. But this is just weird. It's just a weird way that the fear is coming out. Other things is I'm starting to worry about finances. And that's usually where my worry goes right away. I mean, that was my biggest fear on why I never pursued my passion and mission in life until about 6 months ago. Because the fear of the financial stability, that's been my biggest fear. So finances, for that to come up, that doesn't surprise me. When I go look at the facts, I look at our savings account and I look at our checking account, the facts say we're fine. God is blessing us and we are still working. So we still have income coming in. But the fear still, it just is all internally boiling up in me. And I don't like it at all. So another thing that John said, I think it was on Tuesday, is he said, you know what? It's time that we starve our fears. It's time that we focus in on our faith and our abilities, and we starve our fears. This really hit me hard. I believe in the laws of the nature that we live in. The laws, the law of gravity, right? You can't argue that. But there's also law of polarity. Law of polarity says there's an opposite for everything. There's an up, there's a down. There's a left, there's a right. There's a hot, there's a cold. There's faith, there's fear. So if I'm feeding my faith, the opposite, the law of polarity says, well, then you're starving your fear. And here's what I learned, okay? So with this virtual conference that I was attending, it really got my brain working creatively. And I was watching what's happening in the world. I was listening to people. I was seeing what they were posting. I was catering to their questions. And I was finding that they have a lot of technology issues going on right now because everyone's working from home, whether it's your Wi-Fi or your router speed, or maybe it's just learning technology. And I thought, oh my gosh, I know technology. Technology comes easy to me. I get it. How can I help? So that's why I'm doing videos. That's why I'm posting videos. That's why last night I had actually I had 2 webinars yesterday. The first webinar, there were 60 people. The second one, there were 15. And it was very technical and it was very scheduled minded. It was just creating different ideas for people to be more productive, because my passion is truly to help people be efficient and fully empowered in whatever the world is bringing to us today. So if it's empowered with your technology, if it's empowered with your new home office, with your new schedule, with your new coworkers, also called your family, then I can share some quick tips that I hope just get you going quicker. So yesterday was really fun for me because I was in my area of strength. So last night when I went to bed, I was recapping the day and the fears all came back at me again. And I laid there and thought, and I even prayed, I'm like, God, I had a great day where I felt like I was giving people things that they need. And it wasn't just a video that I hope somebody watches. It was truly connection. We were like connecting virtually and answering questions. Why is this fear coming back? And it was the flood of fears, and the anxiety started kind of dwelling in again. And I thought, oh my gosh, wait a minute. How am I going to make money tomorrow? When I stopped serving, the fears came back just like that. I didn't even ask them to. I didn't even invite them back. They just came back. So today, I'm going to starve my fear again. I am fasting my fears. I'm going to starve that fear because I made a list. I journaled this morning and I made a list. What can I do today? How can I help? How can I help you? How can I help this world? Of course, videos, right? Because you know what? One person might watch it and might find value. Awesome. I have a whole list of other things, of other people to connect with, of other coaching sessions that I have today, of other things I need to create and do for classes I have already on the schedule next week, and they're already virtual. I'm starving my fears, and I'm feeding my faith. I'm moving to the facts that I have right in front of me, that I've got work to do. I'm feeling empowered by this, but I want to encourage you to starve your fears today. I hope and pray that you are feeling empowered with the strengths that God has given you, that you can give back to this world. You may not be employed by a grocery store. You may not be employed in the medical field. But you know what? We're going to thrive through this pandemic. We're not just going to survive and wait it out and hope everything works out. We're thriving through right now today, right now in the midst of it. Starve your fears and feed your faith. Be great today. Continue to grow. Continue to develop as the leader you are.